Okay, so I'm going to show you how to check a phone in through the system and create an invoice. Basically, the phones that you should have in front of you that you're getting from all your agents should have ID numbers on them. So for example, the ID number would be like this right here. Phone ID 189. Okay. Okay, so what you do when you got your phones in front of you, you're ready to check the phones in, double check the quality, make sure everything is correct on the phones. What you do is you put your phones on your work area, and you go to find sale, and you type in the phone ID number here and hit find. It's going to bring the order up, and you'll notice here that there's an order number here, as well as the ID number here. So the reason we have an order number and ID numbers is because one order can have multiple phones on it. So we had to have a way of tracking that transaction. So let's get back to business. So for this phone, AT&T iPhone 4S 32 gigabyte. This is a dummy phone that we just put into the system. And let's say it's not an AT&T phone, or there's something wrong with it. Let's say it's a 16 gigabyte iPhone 4 Verizon. So you would hit correction, and then you would type in here, this is a wrong phone. Or let's just say it's a Verizon phone. So just say it's a Verizon. I don't want to write a whole story. Okay, good. So then you go down here to carrier, click that, and then you change it to Verizon. Now what that's going to do, then you hit save and update. For now, ignore this nullify button for now. Just save and update. What that's going to do, it's going to adjust the ledgers for the agent. It's going to send him an email. It's going to send you an email notifying both of you that the changes were made. And now you'll notice that it says Verizon iPhone 4S 32 gigabyte. Now when you save that, it's supposed to bring you back to this field, but right now it's not. So we'll have that working here shortly. You'll notice that the line status says sent to RW, so that's why you have the phone in your hand. And you should just also remind your agents to change the phone to that status on their agent dashboard when they do send the phones to you. So what you do now the phone's ready for invoicing, you have the true data. It's a Verizon iPhone 4S 32 gigabyte, and it's a repair stock phone. So now it's ready for invoicing. So you click that, and this isn't working yet, but I mean it is working, but you don't have your barcode printers. This is where you would click print label. It's going to pop up another window over here, and this is what you're going to use to print your barcode for the back of the phone. But we're just going to cancel that for now. So now that it's ready for invoicing, what you do is you come back over here to invoicing, and you're going to type in or hit new invoice. You can put a note in there like whatever you want to put. And then we're going to make right now once you get past this screen, you can't come back and put the tracking number in here. But we're going to change that so you'll be able to come back in after you create the invoice and ship the package, so you can input the tracking number and the carrier right here. So that way it's on record for you. So when you're ready to start inputting phones, you just hit start. And now you go to, you notice here that the buyer is Phone Day Traders Corporation. Yours notes, hi Cindy. And then the tracking number you'll be able to put in later at some point. So you go over here to invoice items, and I have phone ID 189, so I'm going to add that. There it is. Tells me that that phone is worth $180, and now I'm done. So now I can, if I have 20 phones, and I just put all the item numbers on, and it puts them on the invoice. So when you're done, you click print invoice, and that brings a PDF up for you, and there's your invoice. Move this out of the way. There's your invoice. It tells you this is invoice number 5, the buyer's Phone Day Traders, the note, and iPhone 4S, it'll give you basically, it's going to group the phones together in groups. So like if you have 5 iPhone 4S Verizon 32 gigabyte phones, it'll put the unit number of units here, right? And it'll give you the total price here. Now this is all going to change in the next week or so, because we're going to make it so all the RWs can pay themselves when they buy a phone. So this invoice is going to have a lot more information. It's really making things a little bit more complex, but that's okay. So anyway, that's your invoice, and let's go back here and your packing slip. So now you can print your packing slip. Boom, same thing. So you put the packing slip inside the box, keep your invoice, and then when you're done, you just hit save and exit. Boom. Now you'll notice that here's your invoice. It says hi Cindy, and if you want to view the invoice, you can go here. If you want to edit the invoice, you can go there. If you want to delete it or void it because there's mistakes or whatever and you want to start over, just click that. Okay, this here, after you print your invoice and you ship the phones, then you're going to click this button here, and it's going to turn into a star like this. An empty star, actually. So once Cindy gets the phone, or the phones, and then she checks them in and makes sure they're all correct and does any corrections on her end and whatnot, then your star fills in. So it becomes, at first it's this, you click it, it becomes a hollow star. Once it gets paid, it becomes a star that's filled in. And that way you know that the invoice has been paid. All right, also once it's been paid, you can no longer void or edit the invoice. Up until then, you can void and edit it and do whatever you need to do. Okay, so that's basically the simplicity of it. And if you have any questions, you can always call me or anyone, and we can go over stuff with you. And just as a reminder, like I was saying, this is all going to change in the next couple days. The process will be the same, but the information and the way that the regional wholesalers do it is just going to be a little bit different. That's all. On the personal phones, the way you guys do it on your personal phones that you buy. Okay? Talk to you soon.